At 2:14 p.m., a gallon of milk costs $3.50. By 5:30 p.m., that exact same gallon, sitting on the same shelf, rings up at $4.20 for the next shopper in line. Retailers are quietly overhauling their stores with a massive hardware upgrade. Paper price tickers are being replaced by electronic shelf labels, small, battery-powered digital screens that allow prices to shift as easily as a stock ticker. For decades, the grocery aisle operated on a basic social contract. The price printed on the paper tag was the price everyone paid, regardless of the time of day or who was standing in the aisle. We expect to pay a premium for a rideshare during a rainstorm or a hotel room during peak season. But groceries are an essential physical commodity, and applying these volatile models to food hits already strained household budgets directly.
While retailers claim these tags simply optimize inventory, the underlying algorithms are capable of tracking much more sensitive variables to determine your specific price point. Historically, shoppers assumed that prices remained stable and uniform. In the 1960s, deviations from that predictability triggered intense public backlash, including shopping cart blockades and boycotts against major supermarket chains. That stability was maintained by menu costs. This represents the actual physical labor and material expenses required to manually update thousands of individual paper tags on the shelf edge. A single supermarket manages over 30,000 unique items. For decades, the sheer scale of manual labor needed to replace these tags shelf by shelf served as a natural barrier to the rapid intraday price fluctuations we see online. The electronic shelf label removes that friction. Using an e-paper screen running on a coin battery, these tags allow a central computer to update thousands of prices store-wide in mere minutes. By making price changes effortless, retailers have shifted the balance of power in the grocery store in favor of the algorithm. This illustrates dynamic pricing. It adjusts prices based on aggregate market signals like inventory, time, and weather. An incoming heat wave can trigger an automatic universal price increase on bottled water. Crucially, every consumer in the aisle sees the exact same price. Retailers argue that this technology is the best defense against food waste, which currently eats up roughly 4% of all grocery revenue. These markdown engines execute progressive discounts on expiring perishables, like meat or produce. By slowly lowering the price throughout the week, grocers can clear stock much more efficiently than a single last-minute manual price cut. Because this level of pricing responds to external market conditions rather than the identity of the shopper, it is generally considered a lawful commercial practice. The escalation is surveillance pricing. The algorithm harvests personal information, setting distinct prices for identical goods based on who the shopper is. It relies on invasive data harvesting, like loyalty apps, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth, to monitor your location and purchase history. This model calculates your specific reservation price, the absolute maximum amount you are algorithmically predicted to tolerate for a specific item before abandoning the purchase. Traditionally, loyalty programs were simple, voluntary tools for rewards. Modern algorithms now use that same membership data to map out your personal habits, enabling the very individualized price hikes those programs were once meant to prevent. While dynamic pricing watches the market to clear inventory, surveillance pricing watches you, extracting maximum profit by exploiting your personal habits and data. These practices have triggered a massive regulatory counteroffensive. The Federal Trade Commission is currently seeking public comment on a new policy statement aimed at curbing the use of personal data for individualized pricing. On Capitol Hill, congressional investigations are focusing on whether digital tags and surveillance data are contributing to higher prices for essential goods during a period of intense inflation. Specific legislative proposals, like the federal Stop Price Gouging in Grocery Stores Act, aim to protect consumers by banning the use of electronic shelf labels in large supermarkets entirely. Some states have already acted. Maryland's Protection from Predatory Pricing Act prohibits the use of consumer personal data to set individualized prices, while New York now requires businesses to explicitly disclose when an algorithm is setting the price. The future of the grocery store appears to be a permanent trade-off: higher logistical efficiency and lower food waste at the cost of total pricing transparency for the shopper. Every single shopper in a modern grocery aisle is now an unwitting participant in a real-time algorithmic auction.